love this community that we can share our story. My kids just said to me this morning, "How many times have you shared your story, Mom?" And I'm like, you know what? I'll never stop sharing my story because I think that's what we as a society need is that connection with one another and being able to inspire each other. So I started my journey just about 9 years ago. And I'm a mom of five. And at the time, 9 years ago, my kids were 11 down to one. So five kids. And I was a nursing mom. I was also, still am a personal trainer. And everybody thought in my neighborhood and my community that I knew everything about nutrition, but I honestly didn't. And it showed in my children. My children were always sick. They were staff kids, so they were at the fitness club where I was training, and it was nonstop. It was one thing after another. So from that respect, I really look at myself as just a typical mom doing the best that I could to raise my kids to be healthy, happy, great kids, you know? And so unfortunately, I didn't know a lot about nutrition. My degree, while it is in corporate health and fitness, didn't teach me anything about that. So I needed some help. So a friend of mine from college had come to me and shared fruits and vegetables in a capsule and a soft chew. And I thought, you know, as a trainer, I've been shared a lot of products with, and I just had decided that I didn't want to do products for my clients. I'm not a vitamin person so much. So when I opened my mind and I allowed myself to learn a little bit more about what this was and looked at the research and looked at the integrity of the company, I thought, gosh, you know, what do I have to lose? Because anything green in my house was cooked to mush with cheese on it because that's the only way my kids would eat it. So when you look at that and you think, how am I getting more fruits and vegetables when I don't like to cook? You know, where do I even begin? And so this was a simple solution for my family. It made sense, though I did not have any expectation as to where it was going to take us. I thought, I got nothing to lose, and if it'll help me and my kids, then why not? So I jumped in, and I'll tell you what, that day that I learned about the product, I did ask this one special question. What is the best price possible? Because let's face it, I got five kids. And so at that moment, I was shared the mission and the business opportunity. Now, I didn't embrace that immediately. For me, it was being able to get the best price possible. And I was getting paid on my own orders, which I thought, why not? I'm always looking for a deal, you know, especially when you have that many children. Not a discount per se, but I'm getting a kickback. And I thought, okay, I can do this. And what happened was so unexpected for me is, you know, not too long into it, maybe 4 or 6 weeks, my children asked for raw broccoli. And I thought, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? What's happening in their bodies? And so over time, we started making changes, one change at a time. My kids started drinking more water. We replaced the juice boxes with water bottles in their lunch boxes. And we started putting more fresh fruits and veggies in our refrigerator and taking out more processed foods. And it was a process for sure. But a side note on that was I noticed we weren't going to the doctor as much. I noticed that we weren't always having the sniffles. My kids weren't always the sick kids at the fitness club where I was training. So it was just over time that this happened. Now, whatever happens with that, you know, I think just like any good girlfriend or good mom friend, when you notice a difference in your kids and you're doing something that's making a difference, you start to share. And my friends started to notice that my kids weren't getting sick any longer. So while in my mind I was thinking the last thing I needed was a business, this other side of me said, I can't not tell people about this. I consider myself a sneezer, not from a sick perspective, but from the perspective when I hear something good, I can't help it, blow it out everywhere and tell people about it. And so that's kind of what I started to do. I didn't have a lot of time. I really wasn't looking for another. I had about 17 boot camp classes a week out of my home, and I had 15 personal training clients out of my home, and five kids, 11 down to one, 10 years apart. And I just thought, good grief. So I just started having some friends over once a week and just sharing what was happening with my family. I didn't know what was going to happen from that. But what turned out is I really changed our community. I was a voice of change, simple change, not an overhaul of the pantry, not a restrictive diet or anything like that. It wasn't crazy. It was doable for people. And with the Children's Health Study, you know, children get it for free ages 4 through 26 or in undergraduate college. And I thought, I have a lot of friends with kids all ages, and this could really make an impact. because of the change in my children. So that's what I did. And I built this business with not a business in mind, but with a purpose, to be a good mom and a good friend, a good girlfriend, and to maybe make an impact on our society abroad, you know, because I know people all over the world. And so I just started to share one person at a time and having these little get-togethers, wine and wellness in my home, which I love because I enjoy wine and I enjoy my friends. And I found myself saying, gosh, what if? What if I could bring in an income? What if I could? And at the time, I never got anything for myself. It was always for my children. My kids come first. What if I could buy myself a pair of shoes every month from the little boutique in town and not feel guilty? And it started off that small until I saw a bigger picture, which was the benefits package at the top position in the company. And I thought, what if I could provide this for my family? And so I did that. I kind of kept saying, what's next? What's next? And I took it one step at a time. And over time, I built a small empire, which I still continue to build because of the purpose of making a difference in our community. And so what happened was the unexpected for me is life happens, and sometimes that happens in families. And so this business built a full-time residual income for me, and residual, which is really important in my world. I like to stop for a second on that, if you don't mind, is that I get paid past the point of sharing the product. So when I personal train somebody, I clock in, I clock out. It's 1 hour. If they don't show up, I don't get paid. If I'm not able to work, I don't get paid. So this was really important for me. I was able to continue to get paid even if we were on vacation, even if I took a couple of days and just hung out with my kids and focused on my family, I still got paid. So part-time, I was able to build a full-time residual income, which allowed me to make a decision that was best for me and my children. And I'm now a single mom of 5 children. And I am forever grateful for this business with a heart, and the company with a heart, but this business and this culture and community that surrounded me and supported me and my children, and has created such a loving environment, and has made me feel safe and my children feel safe. And for that, I am forever grateful. I had no idea, but all it started with was what if, and it's changed my life forever. So I'm so grateful. Thank you for letting me share.